this morning to come back for the 20. Sorry, I'll start over. What went into the decision you made to come back for the 2023 season that you announced this morning, and why was now the right time to make that announcement?
So I just kind of, it was kind of easy. I had the option to either stay or leave, obviously. And just looking at everything, I just really want to come back. I don't want to have any regrets. College football is super fun. It's great. Like, it's a bunch of people's dreams to do what I get to do. So kind of taking advantage of that. And Penn State's one of the best places to play for because we have the best fan base. Our coaches are great. Everybody's great. So it was kind of easy, to be honest with you. And the reason to decide to release it right now, I guess, is because I talked to Coach Franklin and I was like, do you want me to, should I release this? He was like, yeah, I think you should, just so you can kind of just get ahead of it, I guess, if that makes sense.
Daniel Gallen.
Hunter, what were those conversations like, leading up to this decision? Who were you speaking with? And, I guess who served as a good sounding board for you up to this point?
Obviously my parents I spoke with, the coaches, but I guess when it came down to it, it's really just my personal decision. I just feel like I still have some growth and some opportunity here and take advantage of before I do whatever's next. But I just figured that staying here would be the best for me.
Rich Scarscavo.
Hey, Hunter, thanks for doing this. You just mentioned about some work to do, and also you hinted at that at the announcement. What work do you have left, do you think? Do you consider it unfinished business?
I think that, obviously, what I'm really focused on right now is this week, obviously, but then just when it comes to growth, personal growth as a player, kind of enhancing my skills, and my football technique and stuff like that. That's kind of what I was talking about. But at the end of the day, we're focused on beating Maryland. So
Spencer Ripchick.
Hey, Hunter. James said today that Olu and Landon have been super helpful even when they're not playing. What are some of the things that you've seen that makes them so helpful?
So even though they aren't playing, they still watch film. They're still with us every day, and they still do everything that everybody else does. So both of them give great insights when we're watching film, scouting, which is really commendable and really impressive in my opinion, because a lot of guys don't do that. And so those two, it's really great to see them continue to help out. But I wouldn't think that they wouldn't do that. But that's kind of the stuff that they're doing. They're still watching film, helping us scout, looking at personnel and all that kind of stuff.
Frank Badani.
Hey, Hunter. You guys have had some problems with injuries and such, but you're still performing at a pretty good level as a group, it appears. Maybe not so much at Penn State in the past. What's the best thing about this line? How are you guys able to overcome some of the problems right now?
I think that the room that we have is incredible when it comes to everybody. Everybody's close. We're all friends with each other. Everybody's helping out their brother next to them, and there's no toxicity. There's nothing like that. The culture that the coaches have built by bringing in the players that are in that room is impressive, and I think that our culture within the O-line room is kind of what's driving that.
Who's impressed you? Anybody in particular? Can you give us an example?
Yeah, honestly, everybody is super nice and stuff. Olu's a great example. Landon, Juice, Sal, Caden. Everybody. So,
thanks.
Andrew Clay.
First of all, is that a Bucky's hat you're wearing?
It is a Bucky's hat.
Obviously, you're a Bucky's fan. Anyways, I want to ask about something Bryce said on Saturday. Bryce talked about how you guys kind of got tired. I know you were on the team last year, but everyone's kind of tired of hearing about the offensive line, hearing the negatives about the offensive line, how that kind of carved a chip on everyone's shoulder. Is that something you guys verbalize and talk about a little bit about, this chip on your shoulder and trying to prove doubters wrong?
I think that, it's not like overtly brought up all the time. We're kind of just focused on improving, and whether the media says or whether people say good stuff or bad stuff about it, we try to just kind of focus on what's going on internally and improve where we're at every day. So I'm not really sure. It's not, I guess it's not like, in my opinion, it's not like a big part of our identity to like try to prove everybody wrong. I think we're just focused on improving every week.
Daniel Gallen.
Hunter, you're 3/4 of the way through your first season at Penn State. Where do you feel like you've developed? Where do you feel like your game has taken strides over the course of this year?
I think that, in general, me moving to like the inside part of the offensive line has improved. So that kind of comes with my hands being quicker, because everything just happens faster. My strength has gotten better. My pass protection and using my hands, my hand battling has gotten a lot better for sure. Coach Trout really emphasizes like our punch and all that kind of stuff, especially in pass pro. So, I think I've just I got reshaped, if that makes sense, because I went from tackle in the FCS to guard in the Power 5. So, I guess everything's kind of changed and improved, and I kind of attribute that to coaches and helping me through that transition from the get-go.
Rich Scarcella.
You mentioned Coach Trout. I was just wondering, can you describe his coaching style and how much was he a factor in you deciding to transfer to Penn State?
I think he's really dedicated. He's very detailed, and his coaching style reflects that. He's not like a screamer or anything like that. He's really controlled, in my opinion, and all that detail goes into the resources he gives us every week, like for scouting and stuff like that, and also the detail that he wants us to have like in our techniques. And that kind of was a big factor when I was deciding where to go, because I like I wouldn't say calmness, that's not the right word, but his like, I guess it's the way he holds himself on the field. I prefer just to kind of have all those details, and then you can like fix it, and I'm not just like getting screamed at. But he's really detailed, and I think he wants that from us, and I think that's kind of another factor of why we've improved.
Audrey Snyder.
Hey Hunter, thanks for your time. I wanted to go back to that Michigan game, and James was just telling us this afternoon that the line has done a really good job embracing the whole next man up mentality. What was your recollection of going through warmups, of Landon getting hurt? Like, how quickly did you realize, like, all right, I'm the guy now, I got to start?
It was really quick. I didn't know what happened until they told me that I had to like do the pre-game plays, but I think they do a really good job getting us all prepared. And like you said, kind of next man up mentality. Like going to that game, I think everybody that traveled was prepared to play. And it wasn't like I wasn't nervous or scared or anything like that, because I knew the coaches had provided me the resources to prepare correctly going in.
Frank Badani.
Hey, Hunter, how many degrees do you have right now between the two schools, and what are you working on?
Right now, I only have one. I have a mechanical engineering degree from Cornell.
Okay.
And then I'm working on getting my MBA from Penn State.
Is there any thought what you want to do with those things beyond football, or?
I'm not really sure yet. There's a lot of routes I can go. Mechanical engineering is a pretty broad engineering field. And then when you add in the business administration masters, it kind of widens it even more. So I think there's a lot of paths I can go down, but I haven't really thought about it just yet.
Okay, thanks.
John Patishnook.
Hey, Hunter, sometimes when when people or whoever fans, they talk about the offensive line improving. It's not just the offensive line, it's maybe the running backs are helping the offensive line improve, and the offensive line is helping the running backs improve. With Katron and Nick back there, and even this might be a little bit of a stretch, but with Mitchell Tinsley coming into the program as a transfer, how much of that, your development and the offensive line's development, is that a result of not just the offensive line itself, you guys improving, but maybe the offense as a whole, and making sure that you're playing complementary offense and doing, what the other parts of the offense need at any given time?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's not fair to say that just the offensive line is improving. We have weapons at every single offensive position, and when a team has to play against us and we have all those options, it really makes it difficult for them. And that kind of like breeds an environment where the offensive line can succeed because they don't know if we're going to run or pass, because we have crazy good receivers. We have these crazy running backs, great quarterback. Our tight ends are crazy. Like, when you have all these weapons, it really makes things easy. So I think that, yeah, I mean, people say the offensive line is improving, but our offense is great as well. So I hope I answered your question. Sorry if I didn't.
Daniel Gallen.
Hunter, I know you didn't finish the game next to him, but you started the game next to Drew Shelton. Starting next to a true freshman playing left tackle in the Big Ten. How do you feel like he acquitted yourself, and how have you seen him come along over the course of the season to contribute?
Drew is an impressive player and person, and especially for a freshman, the things that he does and the way he acts is uncharacteristic of most freshmen. He's extremely mature. He prepares just as hard as the veterans do, and physically he has the resources to be able to succeed. So seeing him come in, because we came in at the same time and kind of like really fast get thrown in, he's done a really good job, and the way he has responded, I think, is very good.
Joe Smeltzer.
Hey Hunter, thanks for the time. Over the next 2 months, we're going to be hearing a lot of obviously announcements of if players are going to stay at Penn State next year or they're going to go to the NFL or whatever they're doing. With you announcing your decision pretty early November, how much of a relief is that just to kind of get that out of the way? And as you mentioned earlier, focus on Maryland this week and then Rutgers, Michigan State the weeks after that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's different for everybody. I knew, as soon as I knew, I just decided to let everybody else know because I wanted to get it behind me. But I think everybody has a different process, and we got to respect that. So I don't think that what I did was right or wrong by announcing it early, and I can't really speak on anybody else's process or what their mindset is.
And we'll wrap up with Audrey.
Hunter, you saved us a lot of questions asking you about it in the next month, so it's nice to get it out of the way. I wanted to ask you about JB Nelson and how you've seen him kind of grow and develop. And I know James said obviously they'd like to preserve his red shirt, but they're unsure if they're going to be able to do that. What's impressed you about JB?
JB is extremely strong, and he can do things like when you watch film or you watch him play that seem physically impossible, to be honest. And he has great vision. He sees stuff. I'm super impressed with JB as well, kind of like Drew. And it's definitely a bright future because those two, the young guys, I mean, all the young guys, not just those two guys, but they're all impressive. So.
Any more questions? All right. Well, thank you, Hunter. Appreciate it.
Yep. Thank you, guys.